What if I told you that your uniqueness is the most valuable currency in today's digital world? Today we're diving deep into personal branding, and not just as a marketing tactic, but the very own digital identity of yours. So forget everything that you thought about personal branding, because today we're about to uncover how it's key to trust, purpose, and yes, unprecedented prosperity in your business. So buckle up, because this video might just change the trajectory of your entire business and life. Now listen closely, because this is crucial. Personal branding is not about catchy taglines. It's not about your logo or what fonts you're using. Personal branding is the digitization of your reputation. And in a world where trust and attention is the new currency, your personal brand is the most valuable asset. By the end of this video, you will understand why your uniqueness is your superpower, how to align your passion with your profession, how to become a magnet, an authority in your industry, and ultimately how to turn your purpose into prosperity. Most of you think of a personal brand as a sales machine to help you get sales, but really it is a trust accelerator. And here, think of trust as a bridge between you and your clients. Without the personal brand, there's a big chasm they cannot cross. And your personal brand is the super engineer to make this bridge big, strong, and easy to cross for your clients to come to you. Just last month, a major client reached out to me and said, "Hey man, I've been following your content for months and it feels like I've been knowing you for years." This client was closed on just one single sales call to $20,000 deal, just because he was following me on social media and have seen my personal brand and what I do with my clients. That's the power of a strong personal brand. Now, many of you have a hard time finding your uniqueness in your personal brand. I always say, hey, who are you in real life? Why does your family, why does your friends, why do your clients like you? That's pretty much you offline. Now, who are you online? And a personal brand is pretty unique. It's like a fingerprint. There are no two identical fingerprints, and there should be also no two identical personal brands. Today I had a consultation with a potential client, and he's a big, bold, big bearded, tough guy. Like, I'm not small, but this guy was huge. And he told me, "Look, Roland, I've been part of gangs, like motorbike gangs. I've been selling drugs. I've been doing a lot of alcohol, prostitutes, like everything that you don't even want to know about. And just recently, I actually turned my life all around and started meditating. I cut out alcohol. I cut out all illegal substances. And recently, I went through Jay Shetty's coaching program with a scholarship because they were so inspired by my story. So I became a life coach." Then we started talking about the content strategy that he's using, and he told me, "Look man, I'm not really using a content strategy. I'm just being me. But the feedback is amazing because people come to me because they see I'm real, I'm raw, and they love that." Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't understand how to create content. You need to understand how to hook people in, how to create proper visuals, how to tell great stories. But my point here is, it's pretty epic to have someone from a gang become a life coach and help other gang members get out of the rut and turn their life around. How unique is that? Now, do you think this guy wanted to show the real truth, where he's coming from? Of course not. He wanted to, show that, hey, I'm living in Bali, meditating, living the good life, living in a big villa, but that just wasn't who he was. He needed to stay unique, and he needed to stay true to his fingerprint. And when I asked him, how could you stay true to yourself? He told me, "Look, Roland, I had to ask 3 questions from myself. What problem can I solve? Who can I serve? And how can I be of value?" Now, being an ex-gang member, how can I be of value might not be an easy question to answer, but there's always an answer for that as well, no matter who you are and where you come from. And speaking of values, one of the biggest value you're doing is solving problems for others. And one of my favorite quotes are right here on my table. It says, "You make a living from the problems you solve, but make a life from the passion you chase." And this brings me to my next story about Aaron, another client of mine, who helps businesses and entrepreneurs create very engaging and viral videos online, mainly on TikTok and short form for Reels. And when we started working together was the time when I really understood what it means to solve problems and chasing passion at the same time. Now, Aaron loves creating videos and editing viral videos, but what he really loves is the ocean. And you know what's the problem with the oceans? They're freaking polluted. It's plastic everywhere. So Aaron made it a mission to ultimately become a video maker for one of these big ocean cleaning companies. And in order to get there, He started helping entrepreneurs create viral videos and build his personal brand, so one day he will be recognized by these ocean cleanup guys. Reach out to him and get him on a project together so he can actually solve the real problem through his passion. And I just absolutely love that story. And that's a great story, but not every one of you know what problems to solve. And most of you probably haven't even found the passion that you want to connect with the problem solving and the value that you want to create. And that brings me back to my own personal story, which is frustration and getting out of the rut. I was stuck in a tier 2 city in my home country in Hungary, working in my father's business that absolutely drove me miserable. And that's when I started thinking that, oh my God, there is something bigger out there. There is something more that I can give to this world. And my long-time dream was always being able to work from a computer on a beach, making money digitally and helping other people prosper with my business background. Because I did complete 3 business diplomas for a reason, so how can I turn that into a passion while getting out of that rut that I hate to be in? So frustration, look at where you're at and what frustrates you. What do you want to change in your life that could help you bring forward more value and help other people solve problems right after you solve your own problem? And solving your and our problems brings me to the next point. Earlier this year, I was having a barbecue at a famous YouTuber's villa called Hamza. He helps guys get better at being men and inspires millions of people, having millions of followers on YouTube. Go check him out. And I asked him, look, Hamza, how do you constantly come up with content ideas? And he told me, look, Roland, you need to inspire your former self. All the videos that you're creating must be speaking to someone that you were 2 years ago. Why? Because you have already solved the problem of your former self to get to the point where you are right now in life. So that made me realize my former self is the blueprint that leads me to become stronger and better. So I have that process from 2 years ago until now on how to become who I am today. And I can give you that same knowledge so you don't have to go through the same path I went through in the past 2 years. Now, if you've been following my journey, you know that I'm a big globetrotter. I lived from the US through Mexico, in Europe, in China, through Hong Kong, in Bali, and I visited many countries all over the world, including Japan twice. And that brings me to my next exercise, which is called Ikigai. You probably have heard of Ikigai, which is a Japanese concept that's referring to something that gives a person a sense of purpose, a reason for living. Now, I love the Japanese Ikigai, but I felt a little bit misaligned with personal branding, so I created the personal brand Ikigai for you to go through it and actually use it as an exercise to find out what your purpose, what your uniqueness is, in order to make sure that you have that confidence in your personal brand. So when you start speaking in front of the camera, you know who you are deep down and you know who you're talking to, and you can be true to yourself. Now, in order to get this exercise, just shoot me a message on Instagram or send me an email and I will happily forward it to you. And now that you have a better understanding of what personal branding really is, it's time for you to take action. Get that exercise, get a piece of paper, start working on who you are, what your uniqueness is, what skills merge with those uniqueness, and then it's time to start creating content, start putting yourself out there, and it's time to start sharing it with the world. Because building a personal brand is not just about marketing, it's about aligning your digital presence with your deeper purpose. It's about using your unique gifts to solve problems and chase your deepest passions. And as you embark on this journey, remember, your brand is not what you do, but it's how you do it and why you do it. If this video sparked something in you, just go ahead, smash that like button, give me a subscribe, and go create something amazing in the world. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.